First I was like,
Just do that. Why are you laughing?
nothing.
Are you laughing at me?
Why are you looking like that?
How do I look?
Babe tired. What's up, guys? It's DK Bree. DK Bree.
Are you tired?
Yes.
You're asking weird.
DK Breezy. We're back with another video. Okay? We're about to do
Story time.
story time, yeah. So the story time is over. The first time we found out that Katie was pregnant with our first daughter, Kalia.
Kalia.
Beautiful Kalia. They're all beautiful.
Yes.
But Kalia got my heart. All right, well, you can start off, babe. You can start off.
Okay, so like we talked about in some of our other videos, we weren't living in the same town. We live like 2.5, 3-ish hours
Yeah.
apart.
Oh, I'm sorry. By the way, all of these story times connect.
Yeah, we're like telling them in order.
Telling them in order.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I was down visiting him in his town for a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we were just like hanging out at your apartment, just
Kicking
kind of
it.
like, yeah, just kicking it, whatever. All right. Obviously. And we're just talking about, so his best friend and his now wife, they weren't married back then.
Right.
His now wife were pregnant and like had just found out not too long before then, maybe like a month to 2 months.
Yeah.
Something like that, like not that long before then that they were having a baby.
Right.
So we're just like hanging out, we're talking about it like, oh, you know, it's so crazy, they're having a baby, like whoop-de-whoop, all this stuff. And then we got on the subject of like, oh, well, what if you were pregnant? And I was like, well, you know, okay, so let me say this. I had a roommate. My best friend was my roommate. And, you know, when girls get around each other all the time, like they link up, right? Like your cycles will link up. And so I always know, like, if she gets hers, like I'm about to get mine or vice versa, whatever. And she had gotten hers and I hadn't gotten mine. And it was just kind of like, so that's what I told him. I was like, well, you know, actually I am kind of late. Like I was expecting it. It hasn't come yet.
Yeah.
I haven't, you know, really wanted to think too much about it and like say anything, you know? And I'm pretty sure his face was like, what?
Wow.
You know?
Like, whoa. Like, one of those situations that you know what you're doing, but you don't know what you're doing. Like, I know we're unprotected, but
I mean, you weren't really trying to be protected though.
I know we were drunk sometimes too, but a baby, you could be pregnant. It was kind of weird. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we like left immediately after that to go to Walmart and get the tests, and you know went back to his apartment, and I like can remember being there, taking the test, like in the bathroom, all that, and it was positive.
Yeah.
Now, I think you remember more about what happened after that.
Okay, so from what I remember, she came out and she did with Cappy.
You weren't in the bathroom too? Why
No.
did I think you were in the bathroom? Maybe you're just like hovering around the bathroom.
Yeah, I was waiting in the kitchen. So she came out, she did with Cappy. And yeah, I think you were like, yeah, you're pregnant. And I was looking at it. Because, you know, I was like, oh, okay. And then she started crying. And she went outside. So she started crying, went outside.
I didn't want you to see me cry. Is that what it was?
I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
That was the first time I seen her cry. And she was crying, and I went outside, and she was telling me she has to finish school.
Now, all this, I was a junior in college. I had full academic scholarships to school. So it's like, you know, I'm going to have one more year left. Like, I'm not dropping out of school. You know, that's what's going through my head. Like, I'm not losing my scholarships, all this stuff.
And you got to mention that she already has a kid.
I did already have a kid, yep.
And, you know, she's doing it, you know, doing it strong. Single mom. Boom. Knocking it out, you know. And then, you know, then I got her pregnant.
Why do you say it like that?
You know. Anyway, so she was crying and stuff and talking about she got, you know, one more year left and how am I going to finish this 1 year of, you know, being pregnant and 2 kids. And I'm like, man.
Yeah, because in my head I'm like, how am I going to do this by myself with a newborn, having like a newborn in the middle of a semester and all of that without any support, you know, it's kind of like what I'm thinking.
Right. So your boy made a boss move.
Stepped up to the plate.
Stepped it up. Black man stepped it up. You feel me? I say, yo, look, mama.
I'm gonna be there for you and that baby.
I'm gonna be there, you know what I'm saying? I got you. Black Superman, put an S on my chest. All day. Then I dipped back into the apartment while she sat outside. She came in like my ear. No, I'm playing. Okay. No.
I was like, what are you talking about?
What really happened was, I was like, you know what? I'll move down there and I'll help. I'll go to, you know, I was at a technical, what is it?
Like a community college.
Like a community college,
Yeah.
Pulaski Tech, down here in Little Rock. And I was like, okay, I'll go down there and I'll go to school.
Yeah.
And then, or whatever, just jump and move. And she was like, you really? I was like, yeah, I'll help, and everything like that. And we hugged, and we made love. Yay. And, and everything was good after that. Yes, you guys gonna know more stories. But that night was really good.
Yeah.
Then you can tell about the next day.
So, DeJuan being DeJuan, he's not really like a think about and plan things out person as much. You know, because in my head I'm like, okay, I need to know exactly when I'm going to tell my parents, what I'm going to say, you know, my sisters, all this stuff. And so, but the next day, we go pick his sister up to like, I'm pretty sure we went to Taco Bell, like something, you know, Taco Bell, something like that. And so he's driving, I'm in the passenger seat, she's in the back seat. And I don't know if you parked or we were in the drive-thru, but one of those. And he just like, here you go. Like with the pregnancy test to her, like just gives it to her, like, here you go. And she's like, what? Like, this is a joke. You're joking, right? And he's like, no. And she's like, Katie. And I'm like, nope, not joking. Like, we're having a baby. So that was his way of announcing to her that we're having a baby. And she was like shocked, I think.
Yeah,
it was probably the best word. And I was like, man, you couldn't, you know, like, hey, I got something to tell you. You're gonna be an auntie, yay. Like, and something like that, you're just like, meh. There you go. Knocked her up. That's like what you like.
One thing you guys will get to know about me is I'm very, very
blunt.
I was gonna say weird, but that makes sense too.
Okay. Yeah, that's something he liked to tell me when we first started talking. He's like, I'm weird.
I'm weird.
Like, I'm weird. I'm like, okay, like, what kind of weird are we talking? Like, there's different types.
That kind of weird people. Like, I'm goofy.
He is goofy.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what happened. You know, that's what happened. We you know, moved on to the next phase.
Yep. So.
And we've only known each other for how long?
It was just like a couple months. Yeah, everything kind of moved really, really quickly.
Really fast.
Because as he said, he moved to where I lived. So then that was a whole nother thing of us moving in together, which will definitely be stories about all that.
Yeah.
The timing actually was kind of worked out because so this was like March, and then my lease was up at the end of May, and I was living with my roommate, and so it was just like, okay, well, when this lease is up, when we're out of school, you know, we can get a place together, and so that kind of worked out pretty well.
Yeah. So.
Yep. So we found out, and he said, "I'll move," because I wasn't dropping out of school. That was the one thing I knew for sure.
And I was about to have nobody raise my pretty ass baby. You feel me? And I was like, you know what? In my head, I'm like, man, what did I say? What did I say? What did I say about Kalia?
You said she was gonna be pretty.
Said she's gonna be pretty. And what else?
You said she was gonna have light eyes.
I said she's gonna have blue eyes.
Which they're like hazily green. They're not blue.
Yeah. But when she first came out,
were blue.
they were blue for about 2 years.
They were blue.
Her eyes were blue for like 2 years. And she came out looking just like Katie. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
It is so funny because all the things that he said about her, like when I was pregnant, is exactly what it was. Like she had the hair that he said and like the eyes.
Yep.
And you even said you wanted her to look like me. Like all this stuff. And then it was just like.
Yeah. But then the next two after that, I don't know. I dropped the ball. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Because they didn't come out the way I said I wanted a boy. And they came out to be girls.
Lyric, our second daughter, came out the way he wanted, just not a boy. Because he's like, I want one that looks like me, all this stuff.
Smell.
And she does. She's just a girl. So you can't be too picky. There's always the fine print there.
Anyway, that's what happened when we found out she was pregnant.
We found out.
And we had a lot of great romance.
We keep talking about that part. I mean, it was it was like a bonding, you know.
We was getting it in. I'm talking about like. Let's get some drink. Let's go.
It's true. Yeah.
It's like exercise. All right, I'm done.
So yes, we were definitely super surprised. Like I said, we hadn't really been together for very long.
Yeah.
Obviously, it worked out okay because you know.
You gotta, ooh. I mean, my thing is why wouldn't it work out when two people make beautiful kids? I mean, that's the whole point of people making kids. And nobody want no ugly kids.
Okay. Are you done about the kids?
All right. Okay, I'm done.
See, I don't think he was as surprised as I was because I think he did it on purpose. He did it on purpose.
Look at that time. Look at that time. That's 12 minutes. I'm not going to say that I did it on purpose, but I'm going to say I did it on accident.
He did it on purpose. I know he did. I'm not mad about it now, but at the time, if I would have really thought that, I probably would have been pissed.
I said, yo, she a fine piece of woman. Snatch.
Lock it down.
My president was like, man.
Don't do that.
She fine in the mud, man. Gotta take that home to mama. I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm done. Cut. All right, man. That's that story time. We have another story time coming for you guys for next week, and that one will be
your birthday party.
Birthday party. Oh, that's crazy.
That was
crazy. Yeah. All right, man. Well, we're DK Breezy. I'm D, and that's K.
And we're Breezy.
We be out. Peace.